This is unbelievable, my friend. Just when everyone thought the Eagles roster was already set, Howie Roseman went public and made a revelation that could completely change the course of the season. He not only admitted that the team isn't ready yet, but also promised moves that could shake up the NFL in the coming hours. I received behind-the-scenes information, details that haven't yet appeared on the major portals, and I'm going to tell you everything now. But first, if you're a true Eagles fan, like this one, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because what I'm about to reveal will surprise you. The Eagles' journey into the new season is far from simple, and while many details have already been finalized, the truth is that the team is still constantly evolving. The preseason raised a number of questions, but it also helped clarify crucial ones. The biggest one, General Manager Howie Roseman made it clear. The recently announced 53-man roster is not final. In other words, there's still a lot to come, and the team is preparing for adjustments, last-minute decisions that could be decisive for the immediate future. We're not done yet. Stay tuned. The next 24 hours will be crucial, Roseman declared. With this type of message, he makes it clear that the work is far from complete and that upcoming decisions could directly affect the team's structure. This means that all options remain open and the team continues to monitor the market and any new moves. Behind the scenes, the movement continues. The team has already made some important trades, such as John Mechie III, a promising talent who adds depth to the roster, and Sam Howell, a quarterback with valuable experience. These additions reflect the need to strengthen the team. But the big question is, are these changes enough to ensure a successful season? The Eagles' primary focus is on strengthening the team, and this is reflected in the choices made during the preseason. However, the performances during these games reveal a reality somewhat different from what fans expected. While the team has excellent players at several positions, the roster depth, especially at the most critical positions, has proven to be less than ideal. And this raises the question, the big question: do the Eagles have the necessary pieces to challenge the best of the league? Jalen Hurts remains the team's central pillar. His talent and leadership are unquestionable, but the biggest concern arises when we look at the replacements. Preseason testing showed that while the team has excellent starting players, the backups, especially at quarterback and other key positions, are weaker than necessary. And with Tanner McKee dealing with a finger injury, the pressure on the coaches increased. It was in this context that Roseman made a crucial decision to look for an experienced quarterback. The signing of Sam Howell was not only a strategic move, but a true statement that the Eagles do not want to take risks with inexperienced options that could compromise the team's future performance. With Howell having started 18 games, he arrives to provide a crucial safety net at a position where experience makes all the difference. This gives the team more stability, not only for the current season, but also for the coming years, as McKee, despite his potential, still needs to develop and prove himself on the field. However, the big question remains: what will be the next steps? The team still has a few crucial hours to adjust its roster and determine the next moves that will directly impact its season. The next 24 hours could be decisive, and all eyes are on what the team will do to ensure that, by the end, its roster is truly ready to face the league's challenges. Therefore, while the Eagles' roster is not yet defined, the internal changes have not stopped. They remain alert to opportunities to strengthen their team, and these strategic decisions could be crucial to ensuring a successful season. If Roseman showed he's not afraid to cut corners to adjust the roster, an even clearer example came soon after, and even a first-round pick. The Eagles, known for their precise and aggressive movement strategy, made a shocking decision by releasing Kenyon, an experiment that, in less than a year, ended up not working out as expected. The trade with the Houston Texans seemed promising in theory, but in practice, the story was quite different. The decision to cut Kenyon raised some important questions, especially about the future of the team's offensive line and the relentless pursuit of quality at all positions. Selected 15th overall in the 2022 NFL Draft, Green arrived with high expectations. His talent and physical potential were unquestionable, but unfortunately, his performance on the field left much to be desired. With a history of injuries and a subpar rookie season, Green failed to establish himself as a key player on the Eagles' offensive line. This ultimately raised a dilemma. Was it possible to give another chance to a player with so much potential but such inconsistent performance? The answer came quickly. The Eagles' front office, led by Howie Roseman, opted to cut its losses, a decision that may have been seen as drastic, but it reflects the unforgiving reality of the NFL, when the offensive line is already established and functioning efficiently. The last thing the team needs is a player who isn't living up to expectations while simultaneously taking up valuable roster space. This swift and decisive move by Roseman was clearly intended to avoid further mistakes. The decision to release Green wasn't simply a matter of not wanting to keep an out-of-shape player, but rather to ensure the team wasn't compromised by unnecessary risk. The Eagles have a very well-established offensive line, and with the arrival of new talent and the adaptation of veterans, there was no room for someone who didn't match the same level of commitment and performance. Kenyon Green's future in the NFL is now uncertain. His talent is still unquestionable, and the extent of his physical potential could attract the attention of other teams looking for reinforcements. However, what became clear with this release was that Green didn't fit into the Eagles' long-term plan. The franchise's decision was strategic, allowing the team to focus on more urgent and effective adjustments. Now, Green will likely seek another opportunity elsewhere, but this experience may have been a wake-up call about the harsh reality of the NFL. Talent needs to be accompanied by consistency and results on the field, and if cutting Green sounded like a step backward, the next rumor has the Eagles taking exactly the opposite path, targeting one of the NFL's most powerful defensive tackles. The Eagles' behind-the-scenes movement has generated a lot of speculation in recent days, and one name that's been constantly circulating is Trey Hendrickson, the Cincinnati Bengals star defensive end. The Eagles' interest in Hendrickson isn't new, but the idea of his arrival in Philadelphia has further excited NFL fans and experts. ESPN even mentioned a possible trade scenario in which the Eagles would offer a 2026 third-round draft pick along with other assets to secure the elite pass rusher. But with so many variables, the big question is, will the Eagles actually go through with this bold move? Negotiations between Hendrickson and the Bengals are still ongoing, but sources suggest there's cautious optimism surrounding a potential deal. However, even with this optimism, the reality of the NFL is well known. Anything can change at any moment, and negotiations like this require patience and a dose of luck. For the Eagles, adding Hendrickson would make perfect sense, especially after the departures of Josh Sweat and Brandon Graham. The team's defensive line has become thinner with these losses, and Hendrickson's experience could fill a crucial void for the team, making their defense even more dominant. Hendrickson, who has been one of the most prolific figures on the Bengals' defensive line, is known for his ability to pressure opposing quarterbacks. His addition to the Eagles roster would be a strategic move to bolster the defense and increase the team's chances of winning a second Super Bowl title. Hendrickson's experience, combined with the existing talent on the Eagles' defense, could create a nightmare for opposing quarterbacks and make the defensive line even more unbeatable. But as always, Howie Roseman's trades are never simple. The Eagles' general manager is known for his bold and unpredictable moves, and while the interest in Hendrickson appears legitimate, the reality of negotiations could change at any moment. Roseman is a master of strategic moves, and while Hendrickson is a coveted asset, the Eagles are prepared for any last-minute surprise, whether it's an unexpected trade or a game-changing offer. With Howie Roseman's recent moves, the Kenyon Green trade, and the rumors surrounding Trey Hendrickson's arrival, how do you think the Philadelphia Eagles will balance strengthening their defense and building an even more competitive roster for the 2025 season? Leave your opinion here, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be back later to update you with the latest Eagles news.